All right, folks, we're back. Thank you for watching that small break on our behalf. It is super appreciated as we've been whining constantly throughout the month. It's going to keep going as ad revenue's in the absolute gutters, that we really do appreciate your subs and bits. But, of course, for what little the ads do produce, we really do appreciate that you guys still watch them when you can. I'm actually looking at yesterday, and would you like to take a random guess how much we made for the Corsair Cup yesterday?
$12.
Close, actually. Very close. You want to take another shot? It's lower.
$10.
No, higher. Oh, you're right in between. $11 according to the dashboard.
Okay. Great.
Super nailed it. But that being said, guys, whether we're getting paid a lot or a little, we do super duper duper love cast and StarCraft, so we'll be here. Also, the Patreon is what funds this and all that good stuff. I just want to make a quick... Oh, hold the phone. Wait for this swap around. It's best of 5, you said, right?
Correct.
All right, and this is Billowy. Sorry, I just realized he didn't have a clan thing, so I got to get that on the overlay real quick. Just got to make that... I was thinking more like, you know, when they're in the pit, like a NASCAR thing. They pull in and then...
Oh, I got you.
Yeah, exactly. All right, so there we go. Billowy's name down on the overlay. I'll probably forget to remove this, and we'll have awkwardness with it later. But that being said, for now, in the bottom left, we've got the red Terran player. It's aLive!
In the top right is the blue Protoss. It is Billowy.
Okay, so best of 5. It's going to make this a little bit of a longer matchup. But TvP we've seen a lot of recently. If you guys tuned in for the last few things we've been casting, whether it's the BTSL, whether it's Ting, whether it's whatever, the point is watching Kelazur versus blank Protoss, watching Beyond versus blank Protoss, Hero versus Terran. There's actually been so much TvP on the channel lately, and we've seen a lot of different aspects of it, from folks like M. Canning busting out the disruptor builds to Heroes weird cheese. I mean, I like that this matchup is going a lot of different directions right now.
Yes. Sometimes no. Like, I like the way that we've been seeing Protoss, but, you know, yesterday's games with Neve was not very, that wasn't that fun, to be honest.
When he was playing really straightforward, which I think
right,
was
exactly.
the problem, right?
Yeah, like when it's straightforward, it makes just, I think, everyone depressed and balance whiny, basically. But when you have stuff like this happen, I think Billowy's also drinking the cheese Kool-Aid, I suppose. That sounds disgusting, by the way.
do you remember the Goof Troop movie? Or Goofy movie or whatever?
Yes, I do.
It was like the
Cheese
dude
Whiz.
who was obsessed with the spray can cheese and put it in his hand and eat and stuff.
Cheese Whiz.
Yeah.
Cheese Whiz is not cheese Kool-Aid.
Well, that's about the consistency of what I'm thinking of when you say that.
Okay, that's fair. Anyway, because Billowy, when we saw him in the Olimoleague that got him here, he was cheesing occasionally, but he was also playing straight-up games occasionally as well. So, I don't know, I think more Protosses are going to be going towards the designated aggression, shall we say.
This Reaper, I mean, normally if you just got the pylon, it feels good, man. But unfortunately, the Reaper's not getting any damage on the pylon. And yes, that's going to cost the Zealot its life, but it guarantees the Stargate gets finished and will be able to produce without much issue. Almost saved that if the Adept had been there like 4 steps sooner.
Yeah, or almost lost the Reaper if the Adept had been first to the right.
But while he does muck around with the Reaper in the middle of the map, he does lose out on possible overcharge timing. This actually gives aLive time to get the bunker up.
I think aLive has been cheesed a bit too much today on ladder or something, because he's like totally on point.
This Reaper, by the way, is coming across the map would be a problem, so I like that he built another Adept back at home. Otherwise, this could have killed 4 or more probes, as we've seen happen.
Reactor goes down first. Bunker is... I don't think it doesn't have to go down. Like, SVs could repair it this far away. I'm not sure it's worth trying to take down by Billowy either.
Yeah, the Cyclone's a very important part of this, by the way. It'll break the pylons better than anything else, but as we see, the Adept transfers in and nobody's shooting that Oracle. It's a little bit awkward. aLive had this really well handled, and even then here, a bit of a mess up, still manages to push this back and might just get the kill. It's gonna be close.
Oh, that'd be nice. Stupid Cyclone.
Barely doesn't quite cover it. Yeah, the damage of a Cyclone is so depressingly low. But well, he may have been able to keep the bunker alive. Oh, there we go. He does pull SCVs, but it's a little bit too late.
Yeah, so he still has enough units that he's not going to be broken anytime soon, and he does know that. His Reaper survived and is barely on the cusp of scouting the Nexus. There it goes now. You know, if there's no Nexus and suddenly there's 4 gateways of units running into your main base, it's now open. Alright, aLive might be dead, but it's not the case. Yeah, extra gateways, you do have a Void Ray. Almost locked himself into that grenade. But it's a couple probes going down to revenge. And aLive losing the SCVs he did is actually not such a big deal. That was like barely... That was like a minimum of that Oracle. And that Oracle still has more work to do. Actually, if really wants to catch up.
I would say, by the way, it's really important that he kept those Marines alive. At any point, aLive could have suicided the Cyclone and the Marine combination to actually kill that pylon and maybe get some peace of mind. But he needs every bit of anti-air. Well, he doesn't necessarily know the Void Ray is coming. It is, and this thing is going to be quite the beast to try and tackle without stim, without medevac support. Looking not too at all unsimilar to the game we watched with Beyond even.
Unsimilar or weird? Similar.
Unfamiliar.
I'm actually like, not even sure anymore.
I had the most problem spelling the word beginning in high school. I never remembered that it had 2 N's in it, so I would always write like begin, start of the.
Okay, yeah, I think we all have words like that.
We just backtrack and give up entirely. But anyways, there's no bunker set up.
Ooh, he needs one. Billy's adding 2 more gateways, 1 in proxy. No, that's just a lot of units.
Well, he might still put 1 in proxy.
Well, if he was, why not just put it where his Oracle or his Stargate is?
Well, because that's the thing. Like, it's anticipated to come from over there. That might actually get picked off at some point if aLive pushes. I don't know. I don't think it's bad to get some diversity because it's not like it's going to do much right now. But I'm so worried for aLive. Like, I'm actually quaking in my boots for him. I love the extra 3 barracks coming down. Don't get me wrong, but he really needs a bunker or something to hold on to because. As stands, without stim, these Marines are actually not that threatening, and the Adepts alone, forget the Void Rays, are probably going to have a decent enough fight with a Guardian Shield above them.
Yeah, he just probably assumes that there's a third base on the way. His Xel'Naga had not seen anything because, of course, Billowy didn't go to that Xel'Naga. He went off to the right side, and aLive thinks he's A-okay, but he's totally wrong. This is hitting before stim. Medevacs will be out, but...
This is so gross.
It is. I love it though. Like,
yeah.
This is the point in time where Protoss needs to go back to its roots, go back to its legacy of just cheese and all-ins.
And I gotta point out, by the way, while we watched a player as great as Beyond die twice.
Oh no.
To something like this, we've also seen a lot of players hold this off and win games from it. So it's not guaranteed that if you cheese, you win. It takes a lot of work.
I'm gonna love watching this until everyone starts doing it on a ladder, and then I'm gonna hate myself.
Oh, you still play this dead game?
Yeah, and TvP is a free win right now.
GG. Billowy takes a very nice game 1. Dirty, gross, but as necessary. I also want to point out, I really enjoyed that Billowy won, in fact, just generally speaking, because he's had a really weird, sometimes amazing, sometimes horrible, like, gameplay records, so it's nice to see he's on the good side of it today. Now we have one of our subs ask, Vivek Area 52 say, BaseTradeTV, is there a reason ad revenue is super low? Yes, and that's because nothing's really going on right now. The way a lot of advertising companies work is, you know, as big holidays come, they roll out ads. As sales for things go on, like as games get released, especially on Twitch, end up being big ones. That's when broadcasters get more commercials to basically use. I mean, for those who don't know how it works, we don't have any control over our ads other than the option of when to play them and how long to play them for. So we set like 30 seconds, 2 minutes, whatever, and that's it. That's all we have. Twitch, unfortunately, doesn't give a lot of control for the rest of it. But, again, with January being a bit of a dry spell for everybody across the board, until, like, Valentine's Day rolls around in February, there's no big advertisers looking to advertise anything. It's a big part, too, I think, why a lot of events don't go on in the early parts of the year, because there's nothing to really sell at said events, either.
You mean Martin Luther King Day is not a commercial holiday?
Give Trump a couple of years.
No, he's gonna turn it into I forget what the people wanted to call it. Important American Citizens Day or something stupid like that.
What?
Yeah.
I feel like that combined with the alternative facts fiasco, like
There's just so many fiascos.
I think what's happening is we're actually hear me out. You believe in sci-fi stuff, right?
I don't know what that means.
Oh, Billowy's thing showing up this time. Okay, let's get rid of that.
In aliens and.
Do you believe in alternate realities, Zombie Grub?
Yeah, I guess so.
I think what we're seeing is this weird clash where like our reality is mixing with another, and Trump's actually seeing these things happen for real in his reality, but for the rest of us, we don't. We're
There's there's like a tweet, right, where it's like just a reminder these weird things only started happening when they they turned on that like huge science
hit Large Hadron Collider.
Yeah.
And by the way, I'm just saying, Berenstain versus Berenstein. I didn't hear about that till like
God.
this year. Like,
see, I believe in alternate realities, but that is just the stupidest theory.
well, that's actually not even alternate reality. That's like time travel, but that's a whole nother can of worms in the same category. But ladies and gentlemen, game number 2 kicks off. In the top left, we've got the red Terran player aLive, currently down 1 game.
In the top right is the blue Protoss. He is Billowy.
But yeah, the Berenstain thing, I will agree objectively is stupid, but is also amazing because it is a it seems like it's a worldwide phenomenon. It's not something that's like locally isolated to like the western coast of like America or something. Like everybody seems to have this to a degree.
Yes. I don't know, man. Yeah, I remember reading those books. And I was very young.
I read those books. I saw the really horribly animated cartoon show that they ran for a while too. And I remember very distinctly, it was Berenstein, like Einstein.
I don't remember it enough to be like, no, it was definitely this or that. And that's why I feel like it's not very convincing, because it's like, yeah, of course people get it confused. They're reading it when they're young. You know, like you don't make a note to remember because you're young, and what's the difference between Stein and Stein? Like, whatever, man.
You know who would actually be the ultimate authority on this? As funny as it would be, we'd have to find like one of those super neo-Nazis, because they would know, right? Because growing up, they would have been taught to hate the like Jewish name that the Bears were given.
Ask that guy that just got punched in the face on the news.
Oh gosh, that's an unfortunate thing. Thank you, RWH86, for that new sub. Glad to have you on board. Welcome to the shenanigans. We got funny games.
Yeah, well, this one's not funny so far. Just a regular expansion build into a Stargate, which is expected on Habitation Station. It's possible that Billy does not cheese every single game, because as I mentioned last game, he's kind of done like 50-50, more so than Classic or Hero.
Yeah.
So he might just be like, no, I can do it.
I think like you give me the list of all the 3 Protoss in this tournament today. Excuse me, 4 Protoss in the tournament today. Also, WTF 4 Protoss in the Korean tournament. Anyways, I think that Billowy's like the first one to go for Colossus out of all of them. So it was really weird to see like anything else, but I really like the Phoenix for a lot of different reasons. Habitation Station, very droppable map. Get control of the sky is a pretty big deal.
Yeah, it's very useful to have Phoenixes on this map, and Billowy might just be going for that. Yeah, third. He already is. So, not nearly as quick, of course, as Hero's third, so it's not quite the same power up you get. But if you can save it, not taking any damage from these Widow Mines, then it will be a nice little boost. Reaper won't be scouted.
That's the other nice thing about the Phoenix opener that I really enjoy. It's not about that it'll poke the medevac down, because it will, but it can also scoop up the Widow Mines. So, okay, you may or may not have detection ready and available, but Graviton Beam is there to be your friend.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, boost. Run away.
Yeah, you could have picked up. So, yeah.
Nice.
Well, Phoenix can survive a Widow Mine hit, so I guess maybe he considered that and thought it was okay.
Liberator gets canceled. I say that's a very odd thing to go for if you're seeing Phoenix opener.
Yeah, that's a smarter move. And keeping the medevac alive is also, I think, the #1 priority. The Widow Mines can kind of go anywhere and still be very useful, at least in scouting, so he moves into the middle of the map. Depth, in case the Adepts come rushing in, he does get a wall off pretty quickly, but that is not where Billowy really went so quickly. He did go for that third base first, and then into a Thai Council. Which which might be for Zanglades. Yeah. It should be for Zanglades, in fact, because if you have Phoenixes, you don't really need those super quick Blink Stalkers. Eventually, you will get Blink. You'll get all the Twilight Council upgrades, in fact, but it can hold on for a little while longer. There it is.
Stim at inappropriate timing is kind of nice to see for Terran, considering the last few games have not exactly led towards normal stim timings for our poor Terran contestants. That being said, aLive. Oh, I just realized with the medevacs being denied, I just assumed, but you actually got no scouting, right? Like there's, unfortunately, nothing in the main has been revealed. He's not feeling like he needs to go for a scan or anything. I think he knows what's up with just having seen the Phoenix alone, but it's still unfortunate because that drop, as we've talked about many times, if the Woodmines cause no damage, they at least get scouting. And unfortunately, that's not how this game played out.
Right. I mean, 8 out of 10 games, if a Pros goes for a Stargate, if they're versus Terran or versus Zerg, it is going to be a macro game, but there are some, all-ins after, and it's like a little risky to do this without scouting the third immediately. So he just kind of took a chance there. But it worked out, and his own third going on location is not so bad either. The Phoenixes have not been roaming around, or really plentiful enough to do so anyway. And aLive's going to push out now, but at the exact same time that Billowy is finishing up his gateways, so this is a nice timing for Billowy to defend.
By the way, my brackets aren't refreshing. Did Innovation end up beating Classic, or do we have a score for that yet?
Yeah, Innovation beat Classic.
Nice. TvP all the way through then.
Nice.
Feels sad though. Wish Biel was doing a bit better. I like Biel. Biel versus Terran right now is actually really fun.
Yeah, I didn't get to catch those games. I don't know if anyone did.
Hey, Tanny8 says, I enjoyed my Yord watch. Greetings from Germany. Keep it up. Dude, I'm glad to hear you enjoying your watch. Those are very smooth looking, fantastic things made out of wood.
Ah, yeah.
All right.
The Resident Enclaves are done.
I mean, aLive's got +1, but the thing is, I think these Phoenix win out in this fight because they'll remove the medevacs faster than Stalkers possibly could. So, aLive really wanted to pull this back. The rest of the army gets shredded, and that looks so one-sided.
In fact, I would say aLive made a really big mistake. I mean, first of all, he didn't scout forward, but then second of all, even with Phoenixes in play, he didn't bother adding on Woodmine super quickly. So these on the front lines would have been so helpful.
I'm going to say they kind of got wasted on the Phoenix even now. Because with those not hitting the Adepts, there's no way to stop this army from pushing in, and I don't know if production... Look at this. He's getting Cyclones out of desperation. You don't see Terran do this late in the game.
Yeah, he absolutely needed Woodmines on the front lines against his army composition. Or to just wait. And well, he couldn't. The Resident Enclave Depths were like, oh, that army looks beatable, and rushed right in, and that's going to be it. Billowy 2 zeros.
That was a nice rhyme, by the way.
Did I rhyme?
Appreciated.
Oh. Yeah, I knew that.
Little mines at the front lines.
Oh. Yeah.
Yeah. All right, so there's the GGs. Billowy with a 2-0 now leads the series and is 1 win away from putting aLive into the ground. I would be mind blown if this ended up being a PvP finals, but I just want to point out that's actually the more likely option of what's on the way at this rate.
What a day.
Well,
day after all the Liberator announcements.
And the Liberators haven't even gone through yet. Terran are like retroactively struggling to be like, oh, we got to play badly so they don't actually nerf them. Ah! But okay, small commercial break, guys. We got possibly one more game on the way, maybe more, hopefully more for this particular series, but we'll see you soon. At game number 3, and as mentioned before, in the bottom left side of the map, he's nervous about trying to impress you here. He's not getting to make the lobbies because Olivia's making the lobbies, so the anxiety is getting to him. Yeah, and the anxiety is getting to him, and he knows you're watching, so unfortunately, I think you're giving him a bad case of the yips.
Yeah, and he doesn't have his kitten profile picture on Korea. Oh my god.
Yes, I heard you like a girl.
I can imagine it reaching Crank somehow and then Crank mentioning it, but it's a question of when.
aLive is pretty for him for Zombie Grub. He has actually been a very polite player to work with. The
lobby's going. He's always been nice about waiting for us to be ready. Just like problem number 1 back in the day when we didn't make the lobbies, and in fact, even when the days when we couldn't make the lobbies, you remember that? Damn. This is like 3 years ago, where like qualifiers were attempted to be babysat after so many disastrous qualifiers.
Oh my god.
So it took
Those
so
were
much
the dumbest
downtime.
ones.
Yeah, they were the dumbest ones. There was so much downtime, and they had admins making lobbies, and they'd either go too quickly, because they'd be like, "Is everyone ready? We gotta get a check from everybody. Is everyone ready?" I'm like, oh god.
Well, actually, while we're visiting Nostalgia Road for a little bit, to talk a little bit something else, like Zombie and I have been kind of, I guess, over the years thrown.
It was so. Occasionally, those were the best though. Like when Olivia makes lobbies in the Olimoleague, like it's actually very smooth. So I like it.
Yeah, I mean, I'm
The
not
Reaper-
complaining, but it's just it is an oddity.
The most wouldn't even have to spend energy.
Yeah, that was actually nice, to hold on to that 50 energy for the overcharge. But aLive is playing very called straight up behind it. The Cyclones had a much bigger impact in the units on the field. The Cyclone really is king. Tears through everything, whether it's Adept, Stalkers, Zealots, or Pylons. The Cyclone is your man, and it's your go-to, and that's what's going to happen here with this drop.
We saw aLive do a lot of work with his drops against Neeb, and one of those drops did include a Cyclone that he microed. It was super awesome to watch, but this is not the same series as aLive versus Neeb yesterday. But the Cyclone does get taken out. No micro for that from aLive.
Yeah, that's really unfortunate, because aLive was actually showing a lot of cool micro, even on the cross-server instances earlier today for the Corsair Cup. Or yesterday, technically, I suppose. Yeah, for those who don't know or maybe missed it, aLive played against Neeb in the finals of the Corsair Cup less than 12 hours ago, and that's what we're referencing a lot of right now when we're talking about it.
This game is going to be Fast Colossus, I assume. And I don't think it's going to be Disruptor. It's not quite that fast. But SCVs are going down. At the same time, Probes are going down. The Probes are actually going down quite a lot because he brought another Cyclone over. I don't think Billowy expected that, but they're kind of trading out evenly on workers killed. Almost.
Yeah, so 7 and 8 respectively. I think obviously mules are a little bit more OP when it comes to income, as we can see reflected on the bottom. We'll go to the graphs in a moment, but this medevac is feeling a little bit sheepish with how low it is. This new one that replaced it, I guess still got that Cyclone and Marine combo in it. Any point could come back in. This is where we ask the question, Overgrowth, do you think this medevac gets out alive?
I think it gets out alive.
All right, I'm actually going to just double down on it because it's so early. But because it is our thing, I'm going to say no, the medevac's going to die this game.
Okay. See what happens.
Looks like Liberator tried to be a little bit cheeky to the natural. In doing so, did scout the Robo, so he'll know that Colossus are on the way. It's really unlikely that it's going to be Disruptors. As much as I really do like seeing them, Colossus are just the more standard unit to go to. I think once you have 3 or 4 Colossus, making a Disruptor is a fantastic move, but we're unlikely to see them before that. Because the only times we see Disruptors this early is when they're paired up with War Prism Speed and they get a little bit cheesy.
Yeah. And Billowy, he should be getting to a really decent point in this game, to be honest. Like, I mean, the third base is going to be later, as it usually is with Colossus, but he should have 2, probably 3 Colossus by the time aLive pushes. And that is usually enough, you know, especially since aLive didn't exactly have this, like, flawless macro game.
Well, the Viking does a great job pushing that off. I am worried, though, because aLive, no in-base 3rd CC, instead just putting a lot of emphasis on production. I forgot how sweet his SimCity was looking yesterday. It's a little bit off today. A little itty-bitty bit, but that's fine. That one barracks is like out of place, but it's part of the wall. I can deal with it.
Yeah, deal with it. There is a third base from Billowy, as I said. It should be ready to go, if not like fully saturated, and maybe a couple pylons. Okay, you're gonna take care of the medevac. Okay.
Ramming speed.
I'm pretty sure the Warp Prism looks like it's made of glass. Like that would not win.
I know. I love that. That's what they need to do for like a Carbot video, right? Like this intense thing with like the Warp Prism's going in, ramming speed, looking to suicide, kind of like Tassadar did into the Overmind, and then just kind of breaks on the edge of it, just like glass shatters. Yeah, exactly.
That would be what it would happen. But of course, if Carbot did it, it'd probably be more of a joke about how nothing actually like interacts with each other in space.
Yeah,
Weird.
collision.
So, collision doesn't exist in space.
There's actually collision mechanics in Overwatch, which I think is interesting. But that's another story for another time. That tank already pretty low. He's gonna pick those up and boost away. If he can get the tank set up, the fight will be perfectly fine to take. But there we go. There we go. Shots getting fired.
That was very bold by Billowy because, well, if he gets SimCity or AI'd on like this, but also if he gets concaved on like this, then his army is just not very good. And that was absolutely a fault of going way overextending and then the AI, but the AI would not have been an issue. He had just pulled back a little bit sooner.
That medevac actually comes in though, and I'm hoping these stalkers kill it.
No!
Yes,
I'm
we're
alive.
tied up again.
It's the point.
I really want someone to go through like our past week of VODs and find all the clips and just like put them together.
5 wins.
GG.
It also disappoints.
GG. I'm glad he's bringing it back, though. I would be really severely disappointed if that was such a one-sided series, because aLive was looking so great versus Neeb yesterday.
Yeah, because Neeb was playing straight up, like Billowy just tried to do. What a mistake that was.
By the way, I guess I'm going to actually say BaseTradeTV project. If there's anyone fan dedicated enough to go back and find the last, like, 6 times we've had these corner debates, you get mega brownie points.
I'm pretty sure you're in the lead. I don't know why you keep giving me points I don't have.
Well, so I was in the lead, remember? And then you were right about that one yesterday
tied.
that I didn't want to. So we were tied.
And now you're in the lead.
Oh, you're right. Yeah, I thought I was behind one. You're right. Ha-ha! Ha-ha!
Like, if I had just gone along with this, I probably would have been up 2 points by now. It's like, yeah, Rifkin, you're right. Way to go.
Shut up. All right, Echo going to be the next map. I should note tomorrow. Well, actually, it might even be the patch today, I think, right?
Yeah.
10 a.m. Pacific, they're patching StarCraft, and I know Nathanius actually already went like to the Southeast Asia server to buy the Total Biscuit voice pack, and he played around with a lot of stuff last night on his stream. So if you guys missed that, you can get a preview of what's coming. But the new map pool is certainly interesting, to say the least.
Interesting.
I say to the least. I say tentatively. I will mention though, all of our qualifiers and all of our main events, like, we are going to be using the new map pool, so we're not going to be sticking with the old one. Like the current one that we're playing on right now, I was so done with it 2 weeks into its existence, so I'm very happy to be past it.
Yeah.
Although I will still never accept Paladin and Terminal. I think that's going to be a terrible map that is vetoed almost 100% of the time.
I'm not nearly as much of a haterade as you are, but I don't like it, and I don't like Abyssal Reef.
I was down.
Mistaken.
Blizzard lost my trust when it came to Dawson Station. Because they tried to push it, and they tried to say this map will provide great games. And it did. It gave a couple of good games. But just objectively speaking, it was a terrible map. And there was no getting around that. That was just like...
Death Sensation was amazing.
I just felt so betrayed, you know? I trusted them. And then that happened. I can't even... Anyways,
See, that's just you going back to an abusive relationship.
I've got a problem with that, apparently. But all right, we're getting into game number 4. Not quite tied up yet, but on the road. 2 in the bottom right. He's got 1 point on the board, but still on his last life. It's aLive.
In the top left is the red Protoss. It is Billowy.
Who's going to be using his Billowy to put aLive to bed for good.
I thought you were gonna rhyme again, and I was like, "There's no way he rhymes with this." He's gonna go to bed for diddly.
For diddly? What are you, Flanders?
Exactly. That's what I thought you were gonna go for. Billowy is already kind of a stretch, so you probably should have just continued stretching.
That might literally be the only word. I actually cannot think of another word that rhymes with billowy.
Diddly, billowy, billowy.
Because pillowy, by the way, I guess I'm saying pillowy in terms of like using a pillow, but I think you would use pillowy in terms of like describing somebody's lips or something, you know?
Nice and pillowy.
Pillowy lips and her well-toned thighs. Starbomb. Starbomb. Anyways, Reaper coming out. Echo's a pretty normal map, but Billowy's not going to be playing it so straight up.
Yeah, he is gonna go back to cheesing.
Did this just become an ASMR cast? What's going on? Oh, your cat. I didn't see your webcam. I'm gonna... Alright, I know you guys want some. I know y'all want a taste of Apollo. Let's show you what's going on here. He's like giving her a hug and everything. It's actually pretty cute.
Wait.
Alright, Apollo. Get out of here.
Billowy is gonna... I mean, I said it, right? He tried to play standard last game, and that was obviously a mistake.
Right?
God, mistake.
It's a little mix of sarcasm with some actual serious connotation to it, though, because honestly, we're just seeing much better results with the guys who are digging deep and going dirty, who aren't afraid to play in the mud, so to speak. This, by the way, is a great difference between the first game, where we see if the Reaper had stuck around, it could have killed the pylon. No Zealot to soak hits and waste time with.
Oh. But I saw a thing explode, and I was like, they don't cancel the Stargate, man.
If you cancel the Stargate, that would have been almost game over times, I think, because that screws through their timing so badly for this. But the probe, I guess, wanted to use that money to get a pylon down. However, Bunker's put in a really nice spot from aLive, and this shouldn't be an issue.
Yep, that's no pylon right there. And you really... Okay, like, you could put a pylon down, but I don't know if it's worth it.
The thing is, the damage from the overcharge isn't going to be enough to kill the command center, and in a worst case scenario, aLive can always just lift it.
Right. Now, if it's in range of the bunker, which it can be, then, you know, killing the bunker wouldn't be so bad, but I don't think it is right now.
And Cyclone also chases off the predicted Oracle in the main. I like that.
Yeah. This is some good defense by aLive. I mean, his defense on Overgrowth wasn't terrible, but it was a lot of action going on in a lot of places, so it eventually started to crumble. But this is not crumbling. He does lose the Reaper, which is actually kind of a big deal because you want to see what the follow-up is. So aLive might be playing too scared or not scared enough, depending on what Billowy actually follows up with.
Taking a lot of damage on that Cyclone and a little bit on the command center. Now, aLive had brought this to the main briefly, and I was hoping he would have produced a little bit more off of it, but looks like he does break the pylon and push this back. 2 Oracles still floating around, and a 3rd one on the way, but a missile turret's been set up at this point, and it looks like his defense should be alright. Hoping to see that stim pack start up here soon.
Billowy very scared of a Widow Mine, I would say. Most of the missiles already been. But he's dodging and weaving and microing.
Yeah, he's gliding with those Oracles really nicely. Of course, the Widow Mine is over here.
It got.
Blap, blap!
I love that saying. You got.
Yeah, me too. It's such a stupid but I love it. As the Widow Mine's going to reposition itself and maybe catch some of the Oracles on round 2, but no Void Ray being produced yet. Still just going really heavy on the Oracles, and 4 of them is... I never thought I'd see the day where 4 Oracles become standard, but it kind of has become the point of it. We see more 4 Oracles than not nowadays.
4 Oracles is perfect.
Yeah, puns well to 4 Oracles is, I mean, just nice.
Yeah, that's why it's perfect. Thanks to Viveka Area 52 for the 100 cheer points, whatever. Bits.
Diddly.
Diddly.
Stupid sexy Flanders.
His diddly bits.
Shut up. This is like Uncle Diddles. You get mad at him for his name, but... Alright, that pull on the SCVs was clutch at the last second because those Oracles almost killed the missile turret. That would have been devastating.
And absolutely the 4th Oracle to actually kill that missile turret, so Billy was forced to pull back, but losing 1 Oracle when you have 4, I don't know if it's really devastating.
I would say so, because at this point there's no damage to kill anything massive. That wouldn't mind, please.
Well, the option of no, why would you know? What are you doing?
Oh, he's just dipping in and out. I was like, well, yeah, you revealed it, then you get suicide. Like, why bait the hits at all? Just run away.
Yeah, you can't take down a missile turret with only 3 Oracles, but you can still kill SCVs with 1, 2, or 3. So just attack that Cyclone.
Didn't kill it, okay? So that's...
The old Cyclone would have been dead.
Actually, it may have. I didn't see the health point on it.
Okay, thank you to Cassiana for the 32-month resub.
Woo!
Soon.
Soon TM. Trademark.
But Billy's gonna use his 3 Oracles before he loses them, sure, to put stasis traps around the map, which I think is very smart.
I like this a lot because if you guys look at the vision real quick, the stasis traps don't give a lot of vision, but he's put them in areas where the army's likely to move. So you'll see things coming down the middle whether or not you have the observers there. Not to mention, just defensively speaking, they're really good traps to have. Even if it only catches 3 or 4 Marines, it's still like temporarily killing 3 or 4 Marines. Yeah. But aLive's aware of these shenanigans. He's wise to them.
He's wise. I think he's also kind of learned a lesson about scouting forward after the Habitation Station game. So I do like seeing these Marines. They're gonna have combat shield, stim, +1, and Billowy doesn't have that strong of an army quite yet.
No, this Oracle's looking to go back towards the main, and it's only the turret there.
Yeah. Colossus is out, and the second Colossus is almost out, so
that
that
boost.
should be enough.
I don't know about this. The Widow Mines, if they get probe kills, this is nice,
no.
but that takes away from the
Oh,
army.
God. Okay, 6. That's pretty good. Bring the medevac back. Oracles, I thought were going to dip in. Did they die? No.
To be honest, I don't know what happened to the Oracles. They must have.
How did 3 Oracles die without us noticing?
Without a single SCV dying either, by the way.
What?
Yeah, he must have just dived in and not turned on the energy or something because he was busy defending at home against the Widow Mines and doing that split. That's my best guess. Musketeer's got 2 kills on it. I don't know where the third one is. There's no Widow Mines here. I really don't know what happened to the third Oracle Zombie Crow. This is like Amelia Earhart status.
It is like Amelia Earhart. He went over the Pacific Terran. Never come back. No, she went over the Atlantic. Actually.
You know what?
Anyway.
If she did it super literally, she'd be the Amelia Bedelia Earhart.
Amelia Bedelia was so fun. And the Nexus looks like it's going to go down despite Billowy's best efforts to respond. And that's really devastating.
He picks up to go back to the main, though. I like this move a lot. He's not letting up on the aggression. He continues to rally across the map, just chipping away at Billowy's defenses. And I'm glad this is happening because it's quite the series we've got on our hands if this gets tied up 2-2.
No.
Colossus exposed it on their own. A little bit of a mistake was made. All that bio could die for it, and it's worth GG. Alive. I'm loving it. He ties it up 1-1, and I get to see, oh, it's Japano again. And it goes little bits in the jar. Thank you guys so much for those resubs. And the new sub right now out of Off Skip. Thank you for the Twitch Prime sub, brother. Or sister, I guess. Person, human being, whatever you want to be called. But we're going to go to one quick commercial break. 2 minutes while we get into this 5th and final game of the series. So sit tight, folks. All right, folks, we're back. And looks like the mystery was solved. And sadly, it wasn't as exciting as we had hoped. Turns out there was a Widow Mine hiding behind one of the gases, and it just wasn't really obvious at a glance because we were in the heat of the game and the thrall of battle and all that. So, still,
yeah, that
was really funny.
A Widow Mine, and then the other 2 attacked the missile turret, which failed.
That was, I think it was better as the mystery, though. We were talking about that during the break. It's a lot more fun that way.
Widow Mines killed Amelia Earhart.
Yeah, Widow Mines killed Amelia Earhart in the Bermuda Triangle. True facts, guys.
Did she go through the Bermuda Triangle?
No, but I'm just, trying to build it up.
Oh, okay. It's even more
I think
mystery.
She just got lost, right? Like, period. I don't think
yeah, I'm pretty sure she just got lost.
The Bermuda Triangle, though, is another one of those things, man. I'm surprised that we've never had, like, any references to that in StarCraft, actually, just thinking on it. Especially with, like, the whole space expanse and going to the other, like, dimension and stuff, campaign.
Well, if you want to just have a plot sync, just, like, getting rid of a character or an event, just say it went through a black hole. It's so much easier in space.
Yeah, Valerian got lost in the Bermuda black hole.
They know where all the other black hole leads to, but not that one.
Did Space Hillary Clinton really die? Who knows? All right, ladies and gentlemen, things have been tied up 2-2 here in the Olimoleague finals, semifinals. And on the top left side of the map, he's looking for that ultimate comeback. It's aLive.
In the top right is the blue Protoss. It's Billowy.
Now, what I really appreciate out of this is we did see Billowy come out of the gate strong. And truthfully, he played those first 2 games very well. He definitely earned those 2-0 lead that he had to start with. Or that 2-0 lead that he had to start with. But aLive, I'm really glad, like, snapped back to reality or whatever it was that was keeping him just in question marks about, like, what to do. And those last 2 games out of aLive looked very convincing and very clean.
Oh my god. Tap into classic. This actually puts you at the same distance, I would say, from your main base, but he's anticipating a higher chance that aLive spawned in the bottom. That
Actually, this would be a little bit further than your main, if you think about it. Because if you put the Stargate here,
yeah.
like, this is the equivalent of putting it in your natural, I think, over here.
I think it's like if you were risky enough to put it at the very edge of your base, even though you don't know if your opponent's to the left of you, then yes, it's longer.
Well, one of the key components with this is the fact that it's not going to get scouted. So it's unfortunate that distance isn't going to be the ally on this one, but it will still, it should still go unscouted. Excuse, all things
should be. Okay, yeah, he's actually scouting specifically for something like this, but it's not ever going to happen in Whirlwind. The Classic did this exactly, and he still ended up winning with multiple oracles against Innovation, I think. It was really sad, too, because Innovation had, like, almost, like, I would say a perfect Terran defense, and it still wasn't enough.
I'm having my mind blown right now, by the way. The guy, Mr. Arthur Simon, just tweeted the Amelia Bedelia Earhart clip at us, right?
Yeah.
And it's cool and all, but I had no idea her name was spelt like that.
What do you mean?
Like, Earhart looks kind of like Reinhardt.
Oh,
you know,
Earhart,
like,
yeah.
I thought it.
Get up to date in knowledge, bro.
Well, in the Berenstain Bears universe, where it was originally spelled, it was Earhart.
I knew you were gonna bring that up.
All
right. Well, the pylon was just in desperation thrown down. It really doesn't help, though.
Yeah, this is gonna be a little more annoying. There's no bunker safety to fall back to. I guess. Without any depots or refinery place down, excuse me, to step that yawn, there's nothing really keeping him here. He could just lift this to the main and start producing there, not waste time with it in the natural.
This Reaper's gonna help out. I got this, guys.
Widowmine is right behind the satellite dish, just by the way, folks.
Was gonna live. And aLive's not taking a lot of damage, but Billowy, I guess, is buying time at the very least to get his own Nexus up. But this is kind of a failure of an opener.
Oh man, we just
Showed
had
me.
We just had a hella old man resub to the channel. Thank you, Mr. Turtle. 142. That's 12 months. Just bring me my part 2. And get off my lawn as fast as you can.
Okay.
Do you know why he's 142?
Why?
Because he got roasted by Rifkin.
Nope.
Alright, a little bit annoying, but aLive does pick up to fly back. I mean, at the same time, like I said, I don't think he really needed to commit to this. Maybe the whole idea of keeping there was strictly to get an overcharge. I don't know, but either way, losing a little bit of mining to this, which kind of sucks. But as we see, Billowy, not really changing it up. In aLive, I felt deflected this very well last time. So imagine, especially with a Viking out this time, it'll be a breeze.
Didn't command centers have a... Oh, never mind. Okay.
Oh, what? Ability to fly? You're correct.
Yes, thank you. No, I was going to say in Brood War, they only had the back jets, not the jets on the bottom. But I suppose you wouldn't see it the way that Brood War was.
Well, Brood War elitist. Command centers evolved and changed just like the game did. And for the better, I might add, just like the game did.
Are you trying to trigger me or the 5 Brood War elitists in chat?
To be honest, I don't know. This is one of those things where you just got a blindfold on and you're taking shots into the dark. Like,
you just meet someone who's super rude for the first time, and you're just like, yeah, well, your mom sucks. Your mom's a very pleasant person. You just charity work. Well, fuck.
Wait, why am I meeting someone who's rude? Wouldn't you be the rude person in that scenario? If that's what you're...
Well, this is just an example of, like, you trying to shoot in the dark.
Oh, wait, do you mean the person you met is... Like, you're saying that to the person you've met? Or you've met the rude person?
Yeah, the person is very rude to you, so you're trying to shoot back at them, but you don't know what to shoot.
No, that doesn't make sense. It's a terrible scenario.
Well, I've never met someone who's outright mean to me. And I didn't know. Well, no, even people that I do know and I know don't like me haven't been like outwardly mean to me.
I was gonna say it'd be worse if you didn't know because they're probably doing it behind your back then.
Right? Like that's the fear. Since no one's been in my face mean to me,
Hashtag
I just assume that everyone talks behind my back.
Well, Zombie Gab, I'll tell you up front to your face, you suck. That's why we're such good friends.
We're not friends anymore.
Oh.
So. Billowy goes for third base, but it's really not that quick. The opener just delayed so many things for him, but it is the better move. See that they're base down and ready to go. Trying to get to Colossus, going for Blink, but aLive is almost ready with his attack, and it should be a good one.
I like these Widow Mines. I think he was trying to catch the Oracles on a bit of a retreat path. How? Oh, the Observer. I was like, how did they see that? That makes no sense, but never mind. It's right there, just cloaked.
Yeah, it is cloaked.
The stealth's so nice that well, I can't see it.
Okay.
Another one up here for detection too. So you'll see if medevacs come out. I love this stasis trap triple combo threat in the main. For those who don't know, you can totally see the distortion. These things are definitely noticeable if you're looking for them, but somebody goes for like a triple dropping one Marine at a time, they're not really looking for those stasis traps. They're probably just dropping as fast as they can.
Yeah. And it's such an obvious spot. It's such a tempting spot for the Terrans to drop. So that'll probably be useful.
Oh.
aLive has another option. You could just go straight to the third, in which case, not. There you go.
By the way, apparently when we did our big sub round off earlier, we missed Marcos, who I don't want to have missed at all, because he subbed for 21 months. Thank you very much, dude. So I had a dream that I was a muffler last night. I woke up exhausted. Yeah, I'm gonna replay that one. That's how good that was. Thank you, mate. Well, that's quite a few oracles looking to head on over, but the army is quite numerous, and the best part is, of course, Revelation will see where that army was moving. Unfortunately, it's worn off now, so he's going to dive in and try and reveal once again, but misses the bulk of the army and only really tags that Widow Mine. I mean, I really love the investment in all these stasis traps. I think like even if it's only like one Marine triggering each of them, it's still the fact that aLive has to take even just the mental process to separate units for each stasis trap.
This is like when I play co-op in Warzone, and I'm having fun, and I'm not doing anything else. I'm just like, let's put stasis traps everywhere.
Warzone stasis traps are amazing though, because if you guys have never played co-op, you can attack the units that are trapped in stasis with an upgrade.
Yeah, if you upgrade them. Yeah. But that's my. There's literally nothing else to do because co-op can be so easy. It's a disruption web and or.
Sometimes it can, and sometimes it can make me want to kill myself. Like some of the co-op missions have really been tough.
Even the hardest ones, if you get to a point where you're maxed out, I think it becomes like super easy.
Disagree. There's that one that you never beat that I don't think you could say that about at all.
I guess I would never know because I never got far enough to max out to say if it was easy or not.
I know.
Like, that's the trick, isn't it?
I guess off of that logic, you are correct.
Sucks. Yeah. Anyway, aLive did not push, and he is now just kind of resigned himself to getting the late game Terran army, I think, which isn't a bad thing. But generally, Terrans do want to win in the mid game where they're probably the most abusive.
Chat alleges that it's my kind of Brood War hate that forced Flash out of StarCraft 2. It's my fault.
That making any sense.
Yeah, you know what? If I'm strong enough,
Brood War, so Flash is like, "Fuck you, I'm gonna go back to Brood War."
Right? Like, how much does that feed my ego? If that's like Rifkin, your words were strong enough to drive Flash out of StarCraft 2. Like, damn, I got some power.
Flexing. Okay.
I'm like doing Terry Crews levels of flexing right now.
Oh, how excited are you for Doomfist?
I really hope that actually ends up being a thing.
Isn't it confirmed by now?
I think it is, but until Blizzard actually announces it, I've had my heart broken before. All right.
They just tweet about it and have him tweet about it and have other celebrities tweet about it, but it's not actually. They're gonna be like, "JK."
JK, it's actually Morgan Freeman is the calmest voice of all time.
Yeah, that'd still be pretty cool though.
I feel like Terry Crews and Morgan Freeman are actually like the perfect foils of each other, right? Like,
they are, but they're still equally cool. I think the actual terrible voice actor they could get is that really whiny guy with the weird looking face.
Chris Rock?
What? No. No, he's a white guy and he's like super old by this point in time, but he has like a super nasally voice.
I would love. You get something epic like Terry Crews advertises Doomfist, then he comes out, it's like, "Do you understand the words? They're coming out of my mouth."
Yeah, something like that. I can't think of this guy's name that I'm thinking of.
It's like talking to Lucy. Ain't nobody understand the words that come out of your mouth.
That's Chris Tucker.
Chris Tucker, whoops, yeah. My bad. My bad. I've been memeing too hard with Athenius lately. We've been talking about like buddy cop movies and stuff. We're playing H1Z1. Got it on the brain. 4 ghosts at a time though out of aLive, and he's also moved his main command center over to become that 4th. So he's still keeping up with macro, but I'm really impressed to see this come out because while we have seen some heroically awesome Widowmine hits in the past, they're not controlled and frankly at best random and can be lucky. Ghosts are something you have a little more control of. You get to decide where those EMPs hit. Not to mention, if he actually drains the energy of those oracles, that'd be a lot of peace of mind.
I think when Terran gets maxed out with Vikings and Ghosts, actually, provided they don't mess up the micro, is a bit more powerful of an army.
Maybe.
Billowy's gonna have to be very, like, you know, careful about his engagements. He's gonna have backup storms to cover his retreat. A couple more immortals would probably be better too.
Well, the thing I'm a little bit concerned about is that dynamic of storms or not, because for this, so much of this relies on aLive's Vikings killing the Colossus more than anything else. And if they get stormed down, then who cares about the MPs, because the arrow will be gone and missing. Meanwhile, massive Zealot run by over here. This is, again, not a planetary fortress. It was the main base lifted over, so completely defenseless. And that's going to get slaughtered. Vikings, however, picking away at the Colossus. Looks like the Bio's doing a great job dancing with those Stalkers, and aLive looking to run away with this game.
The EMPs were so good. They hit almost everything, I think, except a couple of the Archons that came in at the last second.
Yeah, that army supply is just way too much. The Vikings going to land. Of course, they deal bonus damage to mechanical units. So, Mortals, Stalkers, doesn't matter. They're going to die. Zealots are still chasing on FSCVs. So he lost control of the 4th to run to the 3rd. He's lost control of the 3rd to run back to the Nashville. These Zealots still haven't been dealt with.
No, but eventually they will be. And Billowy, he can actually afford to continue warping in charge lots, but he's got to have defenses back at home as aLive continues to move in. He's scanned ahead into all these stasis traps, so that's not going to save Billowy's life.
That could have
There's
actually...
no more EMPs, though, and that's not Archons.
You know, if those stasis traps had grabbed half the army, that could have really brought Billowy back into this, truly and sincerely, but he did a lot of economic damage on the other side of the map. If he could just find a way to hold on, if somehow these charge lots were enough, like, he would actually be good to go, but he's only got one storm holstered and ready. That Templar is not going to be the salvation he needs, as cool as it would be to see.
Storms would have been. Archons
saucy
would have
damage.
been without EMPs, but it might just like barely not enough. Or maybe it is.
Well, maybe it is. I'm actually getting a little bit worried and surprised. But looks like, even though aLive and Billowy hold on to this, their economies have both been wrecked. And aLive ends up being a little bit better off for it, because he's got mules, of course, but also double the worker count. Now, he's got to repair some of these barracks, not to mention that command center. A lot of his stuff, like, he really got messed up by those Zealots.
He did, yes. And that is the type of attack that not only kills a lot of economy and a lot of buildings, it also distracts the Terrans, so they mess up on the front lines. That's the type of counter that could save a Protost's life. But in this game, I don't think it was enough. aLive still saved his command centers, he still saved most of his production, and can still afford to go for Ghosts. And apparently also sniped the Templar Archives, which is pretty important. This is Billowy's... He can't really replace this army. Building his natural nexus as he is, and his 3rd base almost out of money. The Liberators weren't taken out either. They were built to deal with the Zealots, but now they're helpful for this situation. The 2 of them are out of position, so thank you. Being useless.
My mind blown here by this working so well out of Billowy. It's like a blitz, but unfortunately not enough to actually kill the army, so he pulls back once again. Stasis trap, a little bit annoying. Catches the SCV, but nothing too devastating. I guess that was scouting information though to let him know that base was taken. I mean, I think the longer this goes on, the better chances are that aLive takes the game. Because, of course, Billowy's economy is still wrecked from that fight, and he doesn't have a new Nexus popped up. He hasn't been replacing probes because there's no point. He's already fully saturated. So if he's resolving to all-in, that all-in's going to involve an attack, and if he never attacks, that's... Oh, that was so sick with that ghost, by the way. If he never attacks, though, then this won't matter. So that was kind of a cool move, too. I like the idea of shuffling the ghost around in the medevac, but at the same time, like, feedbacks versus EMPs, there's still a very micro-intense part of this.
Yeah. This game isn't quite over, but the storms are being dodged. And they're not enough. That one doesn't. That was. What even was that one?
The amount of storms that were going to be available for this could have possibly leveled the playing field, but at this point, it looks like it is tipping a little too far. And Billowy put up a hell of a series and a good fight, but aLive with the ultimate comeback, 0-2 to 3-2.
He impresses me once again.
Yeah, he shook off his nervousness, and he's like, okay, if I can't impress with the lobby, I'll impress with a comeback. So I'll lose these first 2 games on purpose, and then bring it back all the way.
It's so convoluted, you know? It's been months now. I could just say that he likes me. It's so obvious.
By the way, I know you're trolling in chat, but I love the Ice Cube did the voice of Iago.
No, they're both like gray names, okay? Or black names. No, actually, they're green and black. Okay, I was tripping, but I really thought they're the same person.
You thought Gilbert Godfrey and Ice Cube were the same person?
No, I thought I Love Ortsy and Maynard were the same person talking. Like, they're one after another. And I only glanced at chat, so I read one.
Like arguing with themselves. Okay, I missed that part of it.
Like, wow, Ice Cube's a really good voice actor.
See, I thought you were just being sarcastic and like it's kind of shitty, right? Like, oh yeah, and I thought Iago was voice of the.
No.
All right. Next series coming up is going to be Innovation versus Hero. I'm actually really excited for this TvP, but we're going to go to a commercial break before we get into it. So please stick around, folks. We'll see you soon.